Good morning, dear students. Today we will study about water cycle and groundwater. This is the diagram of water cycle. As we know, water cycle is the continuous circulation of water between land and ocean, and many processes are involved in the process of water cycle. Firstly, evaporation. The process of conversion of water into water vapors is called evaporation, and it occurs due to the heating by the sunlight. Water evaporates continuously from all the water bodies, due to which water vapors are added in the atmosphere. When these water vapors rise up higher in the sky, they undergo condensation, means water vapors change into water droplets, and this process is called condensation. Due to this condensation process, clouds are formed in the sky. And in the same way, transpiration is also the process of release of water vapors through the stomata of the plant. So by the process of evaporation and transpiration, water vapors are added in the atmosphere, and after condensation these water vapors change into water droplets, due to which the formation of clouds occurs in the sky. And when these water droplets become heavy, they come down in the form of rain, hail or snow, and this process of raining is called precipitation. In the same way, there are certain terms like infiltration. Infiltration means sipping of rainwater into the ground, and the water which is present inside the ground, that is called groundwater. So now we will study about groundwater. So in this way we can say water cycle means the continuous circulation of water between land and ocean, and due to this water cycle, the level of water is maintained on this earth. Now next topic is groundwater. The ground has a large storage of water inside it. If we dig deeper and deeper below the earth, we will reach a level where all the space particles of soil and gaps between rocks are filled with water. It means from here water table start, and the upper limit of this layer from where the water starts inside the earth, that is called water table. So we can say the upper level where all the pores in the soil and gaps between the rocks are filled with water is called water table. This is the minimum depth in the soil where all the pore spaces are filled with water, and this is called water table. The water table varies from place to place, and it may even change at a given place. Water it falls down during summers and rises up during rainy season, and there are many factors which affect the water table, like average rainfall in that area and use of the groundwater in that area. So what are the causes for lowering of water table? We can say poor rainfall and excessive use of groundwater causes depletion of the water table. And now what is groundwater? The water found below the water table is called groundwater. The rainwater and water from other sources such as rivers and ponds seeps through the soil, and this water fills the empty spaces and cracks deep below the ground. This process of seeping of water, that may be of rainwater or water from the rivers and ponds into the ground, is called infiltration. So we can say the process of seepage and percolation of surface water into the ground is called infiltration. The percolated water gets collected between the layers of hard rocks below the water table. Such huge reservoirs of water inside the earth are called aquifer. So the groundwater, we can say the groundwater is stored between layers of hard rocks below the water table, and this is called aquifer. Water in the aquifers can be pumped out to the earth's surface with the help of tube wells, hand pumps or submersible pumps. Aquifers are recharged by the rainwater seeping into the soil. So these are certain terms which are related to groundwater, like first one, water table. The upper limit from where the water starts inside the earth is called water table, and the water below the water table is called groundwater. And aquifer term is related to the groundwater which is present between layers of hard rocks below the water table. The process of seeping of water, that may be rainwater or water from rivers and lakes, into the soil is called infiltration. This is the diagram showing the groundwater. Here you can see there is a hand pump, stream or lake. So hand pump, we have to dig up to the water table from where the upper limit of groundwater starts. So upper limit is called water table, and below water table water is present in between the rock particles, and this is called aquifer. So this is a diagram showing groundwater and aquifer. Now what are the uses of groundwater? Groundwater is fresh water and therefore can be used for various purposes, such as it can be used for consumption or direct drinking. We can say it can be used for many domestic works. It is also used for supplying water to the crops, so we can say it is used in irrigation. It is water services in public buildings and offices. It can be supplied. It is also used for firefighting and for many industrial purposes. So these are certain uses of groundwater. Now along with it, we should also know the term like what is hard water and soft water. Rainwater is the purest form of water, as we know. However, as the water makes its way through the ground and into water bodies, we know the rainwater sifts through the soil particles into the earth. During that infiltration process, certain minerals such as chalk, lime and bicarbonates of calcium and magnesium mix with this rainwater. Based on the presence of certain mineral salts, water is either hard or soft. Water that readily makes lather with the soap is known as soft water, and the water which do not make lather easily with the soap is called hard water. So we can say hard water is not suitable for washing clothes, as it does not produce any lather with the soap. It is also unsuitable for photography, as it causes changes in the colors used. So what is the reason of hard water? Hard water generally contains dissolved salts such as chlorides, sulfates and bicarbonates of calcium and magnesium. When water containing these salts is treated with soap, insoluble sticky scum is formed and it does not form any lather. So we can say calcium and magnesium dissolved in water are the two most common minerals that make water hard, and the degree of hardness becomes greater as the calcium and magnesium content in water increases. And how we come to know that this is hard water? Hard water interferes with soap's ability to lather, and it do not interact with soap. Now what is soft water? And the water which is free of these impurities is soft water, and it makes lather easily with the soap. So in this way we can say soft water is more useful as compared to hard water. Thank you. Have a nice day.